sure that we're back. All right. Sorry for that delay on everybody. Let's make sure this gets sent up. Let me see. Like I don't know if I still have. I don't know if it saved the beginning of it.
Oh.
You want to just fabricate it? Run it back.
Sure.
All right. All right. Let's. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Let me make sure my storage is all right. All right. Yeah. Now I should be fine. All right. You ready?
Hmm?
All right. Perfect. Let's get started. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Well, it's good to be back, Chris, and it wouldn't be us being back officially if we didn't have some sort of problem. If you are joining the stream again, you're hearing the same intro. I didn't save our storage or recording. It said there was not enough storage on my computer, so I had to pause the stream and delete a bunch of stuff. So we're back now. Chris is back from Cancun. You said you enjoyed it. Great time.
Good time. Very good time.
Good. I'm glad.
It's good to be back, though, of course.
So, what we ripped through before was just FDU. We were talking about them getting out coaching Purdue. That was a travesty. Arkansas coach losing his mind after they beat Kansas. Nick Sirianni move. What else? Did we really hit on? I mean, we were talking about Kansas State. Fun team. Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll get to you, Chris. You use your college corner anyways, so we'll just get you with the college corner. All right. So I think pretty much where we were at is the Sweet 16. We were talking about Kansas State. They were a fun team. They beat Kentucky, then beat Michigan State. They were, I think, one of the most fun March teams I've watched all year.
And I think it was not all, but mostly because of Marquise Noel and the ridiculous numbers that he was putting up. He set, I think it was the record with 19 assists.
Yep, in that Michigan State game.
Insane. In a game that went to overtime. That game was nuts. The no-look alley-oop that he threw, a minute left in overtime, like that was one of the craziest tournament plays that I've seen. The balls to like put that ball up there, no look with that much time left in the game. But yeah, they were an awesome team. I was kind of sad to see them get knocked out, completely honest, but we'll talk about FAU. They're also a great story.
Yeah, so with this Kansas State team, you were talking about Marquise Noel. He is now, I like, especially for me, who hasn't watched a ton of March Madness in my lifetime. He's now to the point where if we did that top 5 March players again, he might be on that list just from his excitement level and how much he put on the floor. And you got to mention Keontae Johnson too, a teammate of his, the one who caught that no-look lob. He collapsed in Florida 3 years ago, I believe, when he was playing basketball. Got a deal from, I think it was from Florida, that said you can get $4 million, but you can never play like college basketball again. He declined it, transferred, and now is making himself a story in this March, or made himself a story in this March. So that's just a great story, a great storyline for March, and loved rooting for them.
First-year head coach too, which is crazy. 3 seed first-year head coach, and they're going.
They have a first-year head coach.
Tang.
I had no idea. That's that's impressive as hell. Um, it just like everything they did in this tournament was super impressive and a great story for March.
Yeah, it sucked when Keontae Johnson fouled out of that last game. It was like I feel like the college foul limit should be bumped up to 6, just because like you don't want to see guys foul out ever. Honestly,
I think it's been a big issue for this March specifically that
happened
all
to
these.
Timmy the other night.
Yep. Yeah,
Like
I
they
mean they were
got
down by a million.
breaks beaten off him anyway, but still had a bunch of fouls early. He's just
Yeah,
like sitting on the bench looking sad.
and
You let the kids play.
basketball refs. I mean, we see it in the NBA, and now we're seeing it in college ball. Have been, I feel like a lot more ready to blow the whistle, ready to call the foul, and that they
Hmm.
can't be refereeing like that when these kids only have 5 fouls. I remember what like any of these games you see they have players in foul trouble, and the list is like 3, 4 deep for both teams.
Hmm.
So I guess it means you got to have more depth, you got to coach them better, but when some of these guys are playing, there's some ticky-tacky fouls that get called and it can ruin a team's momentum and how they substitute and stuff like that, which they need to work on that next time around.
The one final I'll say about Kansas State is that ending not even being able to get a shot off down 3. I was like, when they went down 3, had the ball, I was like, oh my god, like here it comes. Noel's gonna hit 3. This game's going to overtime. They didn't even get a shot off. Oh,
That's always the worst.
that was horrible because
Yeah,
it was
that's always
such
the
a good
worst.
game.
Mhm.
It's bad, like it was close. No one was up by like more than 5 or 6. Whole game it was back and forth, and then ending like that was like, what are we doing here? It was horrible.
Yeah, that's always the worst when the team like they can't even get a shot off. It's like, come on, you couldn't
Yeah,
have drawn up something and can't even get
no.
a shot up there.
Even draw up something, just pull up. You know that you have to shoot.
Yeah, yeah,
3 seconds left, and they're looking to dump the ball off somewhere. So that was disappointing, but it was a great game.
so Florida Atlantic took that one, the 9 seed all the way to the Elite Four or Final Four. Elite Four. It's Pokemon. So sorry. Um so before we get to I guess we'll finish up the Elite Eight real quick. San Diego State took down Creighton in a 1 point game. That I mean, just what a sloppy game. 56-57.
The way that
Yeesh.
San Diego State plays is not fun to watch at all. They don't shoot threes. When they do, they don't make them. It's just like defense and offensive rebounding. It works.
It
Like
does.
you can't really criticize them, I guess. They're in the Final Four. Man, are they hard to watch? And they were like, Creighton's like the opposite. Like Creighton can run up 90 points on you, and just completely changed the pace of the game and made them play like at their level. Creighton shot like 3 of 20 from the floor in the second half. It was atrocious.
That's how you got to play. That's how you got to make those teams play your style of basketball,
Yep.
and that I mean that's what they're clearly successful doing. So the final Elite Eight, I guess we have two, but UConn Gonzaga. There's nothing to talk about besides UConn's back, baby. They uh they were blowing them out the whole game,
That was a
and
shit kicking.
they did the same thing to Arkansas too in the round earlier. Just
Everybody. This is the most dominant run since uh Baylor. Probably even more dominant than that. It's like 2018 Villanova probably. It's like no one even looks like they belong on the floor with them.
no, and they're a smart basketball team. Like you can see the plays working and just like the open layups, the open threes. Um, Everyone knows their role there, and that the coach Dan Hurley, he's an intense dude. They were up
Nuts.
by 30, and he's screaming, "What the f are you doing out there?" Um, and you would expect they'd be down by 10.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, they're like
Oh,
they're just so deep, and it's like everyone on the team can score. Like they'll put in like 4 bench guys, and they still don't look like they've missed a beat. You can kind of tell when they're playing confident, because that Gonzaga game, like it was almost like they smelled blood in the water. the pace of the game just got ridiculous, and they were running up and down, like hitting threes in transition, getting stops. And that game was like they were up at halftime, and the first 5 minutes of the second half, it was oh, they completely put Gonzaga out of the game. They were up by like 20 after 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was done because you're right. They Gonzaga came in close a little bit at the end of the first, but that second half was just a pure domination. The I was listening to Dan Hurley on Pardon My Take, and they did a great interview with him, and he was talking about how and what you just mentioned. These bench guys come in and they're ready to go. They're scoring like everybody else, and that's because they're a lot of them are transfers that came in, and he on Pardon My Take, he said that the reason what he preached to them was we can go out there and win a national championship, or you can go to some small school and put up a bunch of points.
Yeah,
So that's a
makes
great
sense.
great way to recruit and a great way to get some great bench pieces. I love Senego. Am I saying that right? The
Like that.
center.
It's not Sunoco. I know that. That's the gas station.
Is it Snogo?
Noga,
Well, either way,
maybe something like that.
I just think
He's a stud.
he's incredible.
No,
He
he's in Ramadan right now,
yes. Yep, just about to
fasting.
mention that. So he doesn't drink water, ain't food during the games, and he's out there blocking shots, getting rebounds, putting up points. That I mean,
He's the
I
leading scorer in the tournament that's left in 20 games still.
really I
Yeah,
didn't realize that.
I
The
guess Ramadan only started a few days ago,
but still that and I know
regardless.
we've seen athletes do this before, but it just when these games are I mean they're so close together, they're so high intense. Um, just to be able to do that is remarkable.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible.
All right.
But he's a monster. Like there's no one left in this tournament that's slowing him down inside.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Um, the final Elite Eight game, Miami taking down number two Texas in a pretty big. I mean, I guess they had a better record, so I mean, it was still an upset. But they this was another great game. Texas just couldn't keep up with them, and I mean, Miami. Um, we have what Miami, FAU, UConn, and San Diego State in the Final Four.
The Texas game, they were up 12 points, maybe 10, like really deep into the second half, and then Miami went on a run where they could not miss a shot, and in 5 minutes they were up.
And it's funny because Miami's different than a lot of the other teams where they don't take a bunch of three-pointers. They don't take really many at all. And they just they hit
Yeah,
their
yeah,
middies, they hit their layups, and
there's
play
like
great
something
defense.
about this Miami team. I don't know what it is, but they find ways to win. Every game of the tournament, it feels like just like lurk for a while, then you let them hang around, and then they jump on you.
Yeah, that's the thing. And when you let them hang around, that's where they can start hitting their shots late in the game and playing great defense. And they don't. I mean, it seems like they don't commit a lot of fouls either. Um, so right there, this so the Final Four, complete opposite from the last year's Final Four, where we had all blue bloods, and now it's. I mean, I guess UConn. I don't. What counts as a blue blood?
I don't know. You can make the argument.
Yeah, especially if they
They
win
are.
this
They've won
one.
3 titles in the last 20 years, five
Yeah.
years.
So
So
if
that's a lot.
and if they win this one, they should definitely be in that category. So FAU 9 seed, San Diego State 5 seed, Florida 5 seed, and UConn 4 seed. How like what do you think? Because I mean, like you could say like they beat the teams, but like what happened here where this is the result that we got?
I think this year in college basketball, like there just wasn't a dominant team. Thought Bama could be that team. I was shocked with the San Diego State game with how bad they were, and I think Brandon Miller was
He was the
banged up.
worst tournament player
He
this year. He was terrible
he was off. I think he averaged 9 a game, and that
and
includes the
terrible
0 that he
shooting.
put up in round one. The team he was good against was Maryland, but yeah, he was awful. So that was a huge choke job on their end. And then you had Houston, who they were dominant, but you didn't know they didn't really face anyone. They faced Bama, and Bama beat them. So that was kind of an upset waiting to happen. There just weren't many. Like Purdue always had their weak spots. You knew that that was going to be an issue. Can't handle the press. So I think it was just so wide open, and we kind of knew that going in. So it really shouldn't be that surprising that we have these random teams in the Final Four. Although UConn came into the year as a top 5 team. It's not like they came out of nowhere. They got hot at the right time, but this is like into the season, this was a team that people expected to have a shot at the national title.
Yeah, and they were great at the beginning of the year. They were number 2 in the AP rankings for pretty much all of January. They fell off. It's funny, they fell off when it was Big East play. That's where they had their most trouble. They had a lot of
Lost 5
weird
of 6
yeah, a lot of
anyway.
lot of weird games in the Big East. And it's funny, they're I guess they're almost lucky they don't have to play any other Big East teams this tournament.
Yeah, you're right. Um, I don't know where the hell FAU came from. Like they won 30 games this year. They were in Conference USA, so they're kind of another one where it's like, well, how do they actually match up with real Power 6 teams? Apparently pretty damn well. I don't
They
they also
cooked Tennessee.
did
Cooked. Sorry, you just cut off.
I'm not taking any credit away from them, but he beat 8 seed Memphis, who had an up and down year. You lucked into playing FDU. He played Tennessee, who had a lot of flaws, who I think I had getting upset in the first round. And Kansas State, who was another, like, they were a 3 seed, but they were kind of on a Cinderella run of their own. Now you get San Diego State, who is another one where it's like, what the hell? Where did they come from? Them losing in the first round as well. So it just kind of like did line up for them very well. San Diego State just kicked everyone's ass. Like, got their closest game up until this Creighton game was their first round game against Charleston. They beat the shit out of Furman. The Bama game, really, like, Bama got up big early, and then the rest of the game was not close. So they wear you down. They're not fun to play against. Which is, you see those teams, and they're like, they're losing early because they slow the game down so much, and they don't make shots, or they can beat anybody because they're not going to make shots against them. They will bring you down to their level.
Yeah, and that I mean that's how they ended up here. And that so is that what you think? I mean, going forward, is that what you think's going to happen against FAU?
I think so. Much as I'd love to see a 9 seed in the final, I mean, San Diego State's the better team just in terms of talent. I've also been wrong about just about everything you could be wrong about. This Elite Eight game, I thought, I convinced myself that it was Gonzaga's year because they
Oh
didn't have
no.
as much pressure on them, and then they got absolutely curb stomped. So I don't know. This game, it's almost like a coin flip. I don't really know much about either of them. Uh, just think that San Diego State across the board is more talented. Other side, I feel like I know we should just not overthink it. Like, this is UConn's. Obviously, it's UConn's title to lose at this point. Not losing this, right?
That I don't know, I'm worried. Now that it's like now that it's become UConn's title to lose, I'm nervous about it. So I had them in my if you're in our Wise Guys tournament challenge to win a t-shirt, I might have to keep that t-shirt for myself. So if UConn I think if they win this next game and make
All
it
I
to
have
the
to do is
national
win this one, yeah.
championship, I will be locked in and winning. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll give the second place person a t-shirt too if I win it. Because that's not fair. That's no fun for anyone. We want to get the merch out there. So, anyways, yeah, UConn's tournament to lose, and now you got me nervous about Miami. You got me nervous
It
talking
doesn't make
about.
like it's the most cliche thing you hear about March is like guard play. You need good guard play to go far. Miami is like their guards are the best in the tournament. Isaiah Wong and Nigel Pack was the guy who they paid 800 grand to play here.
More
So
guards than
he's been
Shawshank.
worth it. Guards in Shawshank. Shout out to John Rothstein.
Yeah.
Did you know John Rothstein texts every coach before every game? Good luck.
Does he really?
I read that article the other day. Yeah,
I wonder how many
uh,
respond. I'd be like, get out of here, John.
like 30%.
Yeah, I get scrammed,
Uh,
John. Get out of here.
Anywho, yeah, those guys like they have carried this team. Who's the other guy? Jordan Miller.
Hmm.
His name is. He's like 6'7". He can shoot, can play defense. So he's like stepped into a big scoring role. I don't think any defense is good enough to slow these guys down. So I think they're gonna be the first team to actually challenge UConn. So I thought that of Gonzaga too. Scored 54 points. So I don't know. Like Miami feels like they're the one that has the most like team of destiny vibe. They're just winning games that they're not supposed to win. They've been underdogs in every game since the first round. Then UConn's been so dominant that I don't want to overthink it. So I'm gonna stick with UConn.
Yeah, I mean they're my pick. I'm sticking with it. I'm not gonna flip now. And I think honestly, there's a world where there's just I mean the next two games are just or next I guess three games, but ignoring the other side of the Final Four, that UConn just wipes both these teams and makes it their way to the
Mm.
championship and wins the national title. That's what of course I'm hoping. That's what I want. And this is definitely going to be, I mean, this is so cliche to say that this is their biggest test, but this is going to be their biggest test. This is the team that's played, like, as you said, great basketball all of March as well. And now they have to come up against them. I think that their offensive, I just look like the way that they play basketball, just like it's almost like Warriors vibes without Steph Curry. Cause it's like they just pass, they find open people, and nobody's selfish. Nobody's taking the stupid shot randomly.
Yeah, I mean the best player on the team, Sonoga, had like 10 points,
Yep.
and he sat half the game because he was fasting. To give him rest. He still put up 84. They were scoring every possession just because they wanted to. When they
They
start running on you and shooting in transition, if they're hitting their shots, they're unbeatable.
Oh, definitely. And they just need to make sure that Miami doesn't get to their style of basketball. It needs to be UConn's. They need to control the game. They need to control it early, fast, and sustain it the whole time. And that's the key.
Mhm.
They can't let Miami creep around. They can't let them creep around in the late in the second half. And they gotta hit their shots. Force Miami to shoot threes. That's what I would say.
Mm.
Which they just don't.
Yeah. If they can't penetrate, then they're good for nothing.
Yep. Yep.
But
So,
yeah,
damn.
I don't know because I wish Miami
Hello?
found a way to win this game.
Oh, sorry. You froze on your side a little bit. You want to say that again?
What did I say? Oh, what did I say? I forgot. Trying to the next thing.
I guess it wasn't that important. Why? All right, I have an issue. Why are these games not until Saturday? It's supposed to be March Madness, not April Madness.
With the final, when do you want the final four then? On a Thursday?
Sure. Why not? Why not? Let's make it Thursday.
No,
I guess I
be
get
fine
the
with
national
me.
championship making it Monday. Dude, Monday at 9. It starts at 9.
9, yeah,
That's
9:20.
I feel like that's
Awful.
lame. I feel like that's lame.
It is lame. I agree with that. It's kind of like it like allows you to celebrate making the final four. Just
Yeah.
getting to the final
Yeah.
four, even without winning a national title, is already something the program celebrate.
Oh,
You hang
yeah.
banners for Final Fours.
Yeah. South Carolina's got their banner there. Final Four.
Oh, for 5 days to just soak it all up. For those teams, it probably is nice.
All right.
There's
Yeah, that makes
definitely is a
sense.
letdown. Like especially this weekend. You go from first weekend. There's from noon midnight. There's a game on
At all
all 4
times.
days, and then get to the Elite Eight Sunday, and it's like, damn, like get that a week ago, and now we got
Now we got
2
to have a
o'clock and a
break.
5 o'clock, and that's it.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like, and
So
you got to get a
that it
break in
is such a
between.
letdown. It is like I went from like just gambling so much and watching so much basketball that I was like, all right, I need a break. Betting on 2 games is not as fun as betting on 8. I
I
will
hate
say.
because they give you the taste of like watching good sports like in class in while you're sitting on like at like 3 p.m. on your couch, and it's like we're not gonna get that until Sundays. And I guess opening day comes
Hey,
out soon.
Thursday.
Thursday. That
That is just like one day of baseball. The
yeah.
stakes aren't high.
Yeah, no, and nobody really cares because
No, it's
there's
great.
161 games left.
It's
All right.
more that's more of like
Go.
a celebration.
Yeah, yeah, that baseball's
It's
back.
not intense at all. It's just like, all right, baseball's back. Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
not
I'm
like the
actually
same easy
I'm actually excited
intensity.
for baseball this year.
Oh, here we go again.
No, no, no. It's fast
Yeah.
paced this
No?
time. It's fast paced.
Yeah.
I can
Okay,
actually
so the rules
possibly sit down and watch
they
it.
are working already.
Yeah, I've seen the spring training games have been much quicker, and that's all I need to hear. More hits, quicker time. That's all I care about. I'm down
Bases are
for it.
bigger. Did you see that?
I did. I did. Did you? I love the when that came out, the fake picture where it's just like the base is like the size of a kitchen table.
It's humongous.
Yeah. I believed it at first too. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, what the hell?" But I got duped there. All right. Any other
Funny.
March things we gotta cover before we move on?
I think that was it. Was there another storyline? I mean, my team getting knocked out in the round of 32 was just like called it. I never addressed that my champions, the Marquette Golden Eagles, got beat down
You
by
did.
Tom Izzo.
You were like they're gonna lose in like the first or two rounds.
Well, as soon as I made my bracket, I was like, "What am I doing? Why do I have Marquette winning? I don't know anything about this team." And one of their players, I know their coach. I didn't even watch the Big East this year. And then it just like kind of happened, and I think that I'm special because I don't have Bama or Houston winning, and they get beat in the second round. The only team in the Big Ten that can win conference or win tournament games. Oh, that should have been an immediate red flag that hey, they might have to face Tom Izzo in the second round.
That is got to
Yeah.
be something
Had
I
a
gotta
good
look at for next year in the bracket. Just like, all right, who's gonna have to face Tom Izzo eventually, and let's
right,
not pick
yeah.
them.
Although I think they have a really good recruiting class coming in, so they might not be a 7 seed.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Marquette. I was like, so
Anyway.
you're back on. You're ready for next year. I mean, I
Love,
guess we didn't
baby.
really talk about Princeton too much. We talked about them their first win. They ended up beating Mizzou as well, and that was a butt whooping almost.
Kicked their ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they beat it.
It's
They were
pretty
beating them the whole
shocking.
time. Tough look for the SEC, but I don't really care. And
Yeah,
then
the Big Ten did not have a good showing either. We won a couple games. One team in the Sweet 16. So the banner.
there you go. There you go. All right. Well, that does it for March Madness. We got to move on. We still got a lot to talk about, and we're gonna have to talk about another dramatic QB that's gonna take his time, and nothing's gonna come up of this for the next 3 or 4 months. Everybody else is Lamar Jackson. So
It's a running back, not a quarterback.
sorry. I was looking at it wrong. It was wrong on the wrong.
Had to.
Yeah, that was
Had to get that one in there before we get started.
So it came out yesterday. He came out on Twitter. He made a nice little post saying that he requested a trade from the Ravens all the way back on March 2nd, and that the Ravens do not meet his value. He wants to get paid, wants to get the fully guaranteed contract, and that he loves Maryland and Baltimore and whatever, but he wants to find greener pastures. And I don't know, like I don't I don't even know what to think about any of this because I just don't think he's going to be traded before the draft. Maybe on draft day, but I think any team that signs him to a fully guaranteed contract's stupid. Um, and I also think that his best bet is to stay with the Ravens. Like even though they don't give him
Yeah.
wide receivers, they don't help him out, but still.
So the one really good point that I heard was said Ravens have not met my value.
Mhm.
However, the non-exclusive tag, other teams were able to make an offer, correct?
Yeah, no teams did.
Which means no teams have met his value.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, is that like a red flag that maybe the value's too high? You can blame it on the Watson contract. I think that's what it goes back to now.
Oh
The
yes,
guaranteed.
definitely. This 100% stems from the Watson contract because you look at Watson. We talked about him all last year. He's a scumbag that isn't like meeting the standards of normal players, and yet he gets this fully guaranteed contract from the Browns, and it throws this whole market up in shambles. What I have heard and from podcasts and Twitter and stuff like that is that no team wants to be the second team to give
Hmm.
out a fully guaranteed quarterback contract because once the second team does it, then it's like all right, it's becoming a pattern and everyone's gonna want to expect this.
Right. It's like, yeah, it's like the studies they do where it's like the person to start a trend, actually the second person to join in,
Mm-hmm.
like show others that it's not crazy, but it is crazy. And Lamar is like the worst possible guy
To
to
get
give
a
him a
fully
fully
yeah.
guaranteed contract. Like we joke about him being a running back, but he runs a lot, and like he's gonna get hit eventually. Very good at avoiding hits, but he's already had some injuries. Like, how could you possibly trust him? He hasn't been MVP in 3 years now,
I think it's now 4.
and is it 4?
Yeah,
It
time's
hasn't been
flying.
like hasn't like had a crazy decline or anything, but it's not. We haven't seen that season reciprocated again.
No, and
Oh,
it's not about his performance on the field, but it's about how he's not on the field all the time.
mm,
He's missed I think 10 games last year. He didn't finish the season the year before that, and clearly he is a little bit of a drama queen. So I like I don't see any team doing this, having to give up all the money, having to give up all the assets, and then having this guy locked in to an NFL contract for the next 5 years where it's all guaranteed. I just I don't see it happening. There's a world where I heard like Jim Irsay is crazy enough to trade for him in the Colts. Um, there's a world where he goes
can't
back
pick
to the
that.
Ravens off a different 1 year contract. Um, but I don't know what he is expecting from this holdout.
Yeah, and they had given him an offer before, right? That he didn't
Yep.
take. The
Yeah.
guaranteed figure wasn't right.
Yeah, and I heard it was a pretty lucrative contract. He was probably going to be the second highest paid quarterback or something like that. And if that's like I don't if that's not good enough, Lamar, that's what you got to work with. That's what the offer is on the table. And as you said earlier, with the non-exclusive tag, no teams put in an offer. Nobody wanted to negotiate for the Ravens because they figured the Ravens were just going to match it. And like, there's already rumors about where he's going to go, and the Pats are on there, and your Commanders are on there, and
They already
actually,
came out. We said no.
yeah, and there. That's the other thing. Like these teams saying no. I'm sure when it comes to like push comes to shove and it's like, all right, maybe he works like maybe he gives out like a contract that he's okay with and maybe some of his demands go down, but I don't know. If they didn't already say no, would you have wanted Lamar Jackson as as your quarterback with all in base of all the assets you'd have to give up and all the money you'd have to spend on him?
Yes. That's also coming from somebody who's never had an exciting quarterback outside of RG3.
Yeah, but I mean, outside of RG3, I mean, this is RG3 we're talking about where he could have been this type of player, and yet he got injured and completely
Yeah.
fell off. So I don't know. Of course, if Lamar gets traded to the Patriots today, I'm gonna flip my stance and be all excited for. I'm gonna be excited for whoever's the quarterback of the New England Patriots, but I just don't like the cost. I'm not a fan of the cost, and I think
Yeah.
that's the main.
That's
And
and
okay, go ahead.
well, that's where I'm at too. It's like, would I do it? Yes. Am I fine not doing it? Also, yes. Because you can sell yourself either way. Because he is stud of a player,
Hmm.
and the potential for when he's on the field with an actual set of weapons
Is Super Bowl caliber.
is yes. Went 14-2. They were the 1 seed. They had a bad playoff game. But, like, that team was good enough to win the Super Bowl. Put them on the Commanders with those receivers and the defense. This is probably the best Commanders team that I've seen in my life. So I would do it for that reason. Willing to accept the risks that would come with it, with giving up picks, the injury stuff. On the other side, it is like, all right, well, not getting him, we avoid all that stuff. We see what we got in our guy on a rookie contract. Keep all our picks. We keep our cap space and stuff like that. So I can support either.
Yeah, and like now that we're talking about it, it's like you're gonna get a guy who's gonna make like you're up he's up with the top. He's up with the top 10 quarterbacks. He might even be top 5 and when he's fully healthy. I can't like he hasn't stayed on the field, and that's why he hasn't gotten this contract, and that's why teams aren't gonna offer him this contract.
It sucks for him because like he did everything to prove himself as a player. Like all
Yes.
the doubts about him coming out of college, winning an MVP and being the 1 seed that year, like those doubts were eliminated. We can make fun of him all we want, and we will continue to do so. He will always be a running back to me just because it's funny.
Even if
Like,
he's on the Pats, I'll call him a running back. I find it funny.
like in all seriousness, he's an amazing player. He's had an excellent career thus far. Are just issues that like really can't control.
Mhm.
He can control having an agent. Which I think he's an idiot for not having one.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in this situation if he did have one, but
No, he's not at
it's
all because the agent advised
a whole
him
other
to
discussion.
take the agent will advise him to take that contract that the Ravens offered, and I always found it weird because like without the agent too, you never see him on any commercials. You see him with the Oakley deal, and that's about it. He's had no sponsorships. It's like all that stuff
He had a
can be.
Subway thing.
Did he?
Making that up.
No.
The
Oh,
Subway
I was
Surfers.
gonna say he reacts to his character in Subway Surfers. Let's go. Um,
Maybe that's what I saw.
But yeah, so you never see him in any commercials or any deals like that where he should be. I mean, Dak Prescott's all over the place, and he's a far better quarterback.
Prescott, he's Subway, right?
He's Subway, he's Mattress Firm or something, or not Mattress Firm, but Sleep Mattress or some smart sleep mattress. Oh,
Is he
he's
Subway? Do I just think
no,
that everyone has a Subway
yeah, he's not
commercial?
Subway, he's Chunky Soup. He's the
Somebody's
Campbell's.
Subway.
I know Tony Romo's been in the Subway commercial. They get
Mm,
everybody, so I wouldn't be surprised
That's
if
what I'm
he's in the
saying. Okay, Gronk, Steph Curry, Derek Jeter, and Simone Biles are all in one commercial. That's why I thought everybody was in Subway.
Ugh, alright.
JJ Watt. Oh, and Russell Wilson, of course.
Oh, yeah, the Danger Witch. The Danger
The
Witch.
most disturbing advertisement ever.
So, before we move on, what besides our 2 teams that we just kinda discussed, and I guess as we both put, if they traded for tomorrow, we wouldn't be upset. But what other teams do you think could make a run at him? Because a lot of teams said no.
Atlanta,
They
Atlanta
said
was the
no.
one that I saw the most. He said no.
They said no. They said they plan on starting
Houston said
Desmond Ritter.
no.
I think
Jets were an option, but obviously that's gone elsewhere. Indy makes sense.
Yeah, Indy makes
I just
sense.
can't picture him in a Colts uniform.
No, he looks ugly in a Colts uniform in my mind.
Yeah.
The uh the one that I've seen people talk about, it hasn't seen it like a lot of articles like they're interested or whatever, but the Lions. The Lions could find a way to get him.
Oh,
That would be incredible.
all the lines would be good.
They'd be so much fun. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. We have plenty of time to talk about this because he ain't getting traded anytime soon. I'll break the news
Yeah.
there. Um,
So the odds. This is on the Fox article. I don't know what sports book this is. Colts plus 250, Pats plus 450, Atlanta plus 650, Commanders plus 700, Lions plus or Titans plus 700, Lions plus 1,000.
huh. I saw
Titans could see that.
which one? The Titans?
Titans.
Yeah, I was just about to say the Titans seem like they could be an interesting spot for him. Him and Henry would be an
Lamar and
amazing.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Oh my
that would be an
gosh.
insane backfield. They still have no. I mean, they have. He'd be going to another team with no weapons and barely an offensive line. But
Burks.
there you go, Traylon Burks. Uh, yeah, they could be an interesting team to go after him. I but I have no clue. It'll be interesting to see.
It's not a market for him.
I know that's what I'm saying. It's not a market, and
Which is insane that somebody would just bite the bullet and do it.
I think it's a thing where it's bigger than just Lamar. Where it's now if what I said earlier, if another team does it, now everyone's got to do it, and
Yeah.
I think that's where the hesitation comes from NFL owners and GMs, I guess.
And that's why I do kind of feel bad for him because I'm in his spot and I see this guy who has had a less successful NFL career than me,
Yep.
gone through more off the field stuff than me,
Hmm.
signed that kind of contract with that much guaranteed money. I'm gonna try to go out and do the same thing. So can't tell him be like, dude, like look for less money, look for less guaranteed, because it's not fair. But
No, it isn't. You're
at the
right.
end of the
It
day,
isn't
that's
fair.
what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, and
So I don't blame him for looking for it. But at some point, like he's gonna have to be realistic.
that's the thing. You said the team's got to bite the bullet. Lamar is going to have to meet in the middle somewhere and bite some bullet and take some less guaranteed money. And you also, it's not fair. He earned. I mean, he earned every cent of that Deshaun Watson contract. Um, that would have been a fine contract to give up. Nobody would have batted an eye. And yet this diddler who had 24 cases against him got it. And now you're supposed to tell him like you're not as good as an employee as him. It's like, come on now.
Right.
And it also like he's trying to I think in his mind, like if he gives up, it's like, well, we'll never get there. We'll never get to the
Mm.
full and guaranteed contracts for all my guys. And I don't know. I guess power to Lamar. He can do whatever he wants. But hopefully this gets resolved soon because I hate this type of talk where it's like, oh,
Yeah,
I
it just
wonder where he's gonna
lingers.
go. I wonder, yeah, and it's like the same thing we've had with Rodgers the past 2 years, and now I'm worried that it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, and like there's only so much that we can say about it.
Yeah, especially
Everything
with
that we've said is gonna be the same thing that we can say about it in a week.
yep. And what's
Unless
interesting,
like some groundbreaking source comes out and fills us in with more information.
well, I was just about to say that's the interesting thing is no Adam Scheffner is really tweeting any of this stuff. No, who's the other ones? Like none of the
Report.
yeah, Rappaport, any of those guys, because Lamar doesn't have an agent. He's only talking to the Ravens, and the Ravens know that if they spill something, that it's gonna go direct. Like Lamar's gonna know it came directly from them. So
Yeah.
not no, there's been no leaks. Uh, there's not been anything. There's been nothing besides what Lamar has tweeted, um, and the Ravens are staying put. I mean, John Harbaugh said right right in his interview, like he expects Lamar to be their quarterback one coming week one. So
I think you will be.
I think that's where it's ending up too. And let's uh let's just put that to bed and move on because we know we're gonna talk about it in a couple months. So let's just move on. So some great news for you, Chris.
Speaking of things that we talk about
Way too
all the
often.
time, it again is mostly speculation. We're getting there.
The offer
It's
is
not
on the
speculation
table.
anymore. There are two $6 billion offers on the table for the Commanders. Like Dan 1-7 said he'd be willing to take 6. So now it's money where your mouth is, or the money and run, I guess, would be a more analogy. Whatever. This is the most real news that we've had. This whole sale process is there is a group, 2 separate individuals that have offers on the table. Now it's just like, I guess it's going to be a bidding war. Like, they're not going to go much higher than $6 billion, I doubt. And then it's just paperwork. He's out of here.
So the possible savior of the Washington Commanders and the Washington franchise is none other than Irving Magic Johnson. So Joe Harris and Mitchell Rails group, I have no idea who those guys are, but they included
Josh Harris.
Oh, Josh Harris, you're right. They included their final piece to the puzzle, which is Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson is so now they have the asking price, $6 billion. So it looks like a Canadian billionaire also was the one who submitted.
Steve Apostolopoulos.
Yes, gotta be Greek.
It's Greek.
Yeah.
I don't know how I definitely butchered that, but he's Greek.
So he submitted a bid as well, and now it's just waiting for Dan to pick. Just like he just picks an offer.
I guess so. I still think that Bezos could swoop in with like $1 billion.
If I'm Bezos, I'd do it. I'd just be like, oh, they say 6, 8, bam. It's like Bezos doesn't care. He has that money in his back pocket.
I don't really know anything about these people.
But they're not Dan Snyder. Yes.
That's all that I care about. I've seen there's this guy I follow on Twitter that's like, like these guys, they don't really do anything for me. Like, I'm not really cool with them. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, what could you possibly know about these people? You know that they're not the biggest screw up in the world. Which is who we have now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you judge these billionaires? And second, none of them are Dan Snyder. It can't get worse. It can't be worse.
No, it literally cannot get worse.
So
when you look at the worst owners in sports, it's like him, and it's Dolan, I guess. And then like who is worse? No one is worse.
No, and he's not even worse than Dolan.
No, he isn't worse, or he is worse.
I was gonna say he is worse than Dolan. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, like you can look at baseball, and those guys, a lot of those guys suck because they're cheap. He just sucks because he sucks. Like, there's a salary cap. The NFL is fair, unlike baseball, where it actually matters how much your owner is willing to spend. He's just a horrible mismanager and a shitty person.
Yeah, terrible manager, terrible person, and I hope it's magic. I mean, I'm praying it's magic. Just get some magic in DC. And
I would love that.
It would be awesome. His tweets, every time you see him at a game.
How much of the $6 billion do you think Magic can actually contribute, though?
I was gonna say, there's no way Magic has $1 billion. I mean, maybe he has $1 billion.
Probably like a couple $100 million.
Yeah, he's got to be a small piece to this. I'm trying to see if
$120 million is his net worth.
Oh, okay.
He can probably contribute like $100 million to it.
Definitely.
How much liquid assets he has, but the NFL is better investment than whatever he's invested in.
Oh, and yeah, the Commanders would be a great investment for him. So when this happens, do you see like I don't know, are we gonna like what do you expect? Like, I guess just expecting not Dan Snyder.
In like big picture, what are my expectations, or like right away?
Let's go big picture.
I mean, hope is restored. It's like I can
It's like the Death Star
finally.
blowing up.
No, it's like getting the plans to blow up the Death Star. We haven't actually done anything yet.
Oh yeah, I mean this is
But
yeah, this is.
um, I mean, there's like you can actually think about them winning a Super Bowl. It's not like you won't like go into every offseason like, ah, it really doesn't matter that much because like you know that you don't just know that they're gonna screw it up somehow. I mean, it'll take a while for that stink to go away, but fans will come back. Be a new stadium. Hopefully, some juice, some excitement in the city for the team.
Does the
Uh,
commander's name stay?
I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, that would be the third name change in like 5 years, which would be
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
yeah.
I don't really care. Like, if you don't think it's a good name, if the owner doesn't like it and like gonna own the team for 50 years, then go ahead change it. But that's the least of my worries
Fair
now.
enough.
I
Fair
mean,
enough.
the stadium is so much more important to me than the name.
Oh, definitely. And there was so Dan had plans on moving and getting another stadium. Was there? I mean, I guess there wouldn't be any other plans leaked out because no one else is the owner right now. So that would be interesting to see. Maybe they could try to reboot RFK. Maybe they move somewhere else. I think it was
That's the
Virginia.
site. It's gotta be there.
It's got to be RFK.
Virginia would be a disaster.
Yeah, no, that it would just yeah, that would be a disaster. I agree.
I've heard National Harbor thrown around. I don't know if there's room there.
I was gonna
That
say,
would be
where would they
okay.
put that there?
Not sure.
That
That
would be
would
a
be a cool
weird
area to
spot.
have it.
Yeah, it'd be a cool area, but it would be
Um,
kind of weird to just throw a stadium in there.
yeah, well, it wouldn't be like right downtown, but
Yeah,
you could. I'll have to like look at the map and see where. But that would be my second favorite location, I think. Get it the hell out of Landover. Nobody wants it there. It's got to be in DC, you know?
yeah. I think they need to make it in DC too. Whether it, I mean, like of
In the
course
boys' home.
we love them in Maryland, but they definitely need to go to DC.
Yeah. Like, Congress will actually work with another owner that's not Dan, I think.
Oh,
They
definitely.
refuse, like, they were not building Dan Snyder Stadium on federal land.
No,
It was not going
not
to
worth
happen.
that.
We will see with a new face. That's the spot. Like, that's 1A. Year of its own.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm excited
Oh,
for you.
see. And I think that will happen like relatively quick. Like that's first order business. FedEx lease expires in 2027, so like I get on this pretty quick, right?
Hmm.
4 years to build a stadium. That's plenty of time, but I'll figure it out in 2 years. Then you got 2 years to build a stadium. And then what are you playing it like Maryland? The Vikings did when their stadium got destroyed by a blizzard, I think it was.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah. Play in some college stadium. That would be kind of fun.
yeah,
That would be
that
kind of
would
cool.
be
But
cool.
it would be yeah.
Better games in College Park.
I mean, that would
Be
be great
cool.
for you. Just walk to the game.
Yeah, right. I
Um.
wouldn't want to.
All right.
Maybe I would actually.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Now you're getting the right mindset.
Yeah. Well, I was even thinking today. I was like, I might actually want. Like, I know I swore it off again. I had to do it, but I might relapse again.
Once
It'll,
let the sale go through first. Let the sale go through.
yeah. I know. I'm gonna. Because literally my worst nightmare, the whole world, is what happened with the Angels. The Angels owner said that he was gonna sell, and everybody was like, "Oh my god! Like, thank God, finally Trout and Otani like gonna get some help. This guy's not gonna destroy the team." And he said, "Actually, I have some unfinished business. Not gonna sell the team." It was
I
a
don't think
meltdown.
I don't think
I
that's an
would be
option. I don't think that's an option for Dan
shambles.
anymore. I think if
I
that
think
happens, they're gonna like evict him.
right, yeah. If it, I hope that if that happens, they're just like, no. You started it, sell it.
Yeah.
Whether you
No, they
like it or
want him
not,
out. The
Dan, you're
NFL wants
out of
him
here.
out. Yeah.
Right.
So
So
it'll be forced.
my hopes are as about like as high as they can be, still being a little bit cautious
All right. Yeah. Keep the
because I don't
caution
want
there
to
just
get
a little
hurt.
bit.
I'm very excited. Like I saw that alert and I was like, wow, like this is real.
You
just
had to
need
pinch yourself a little
give
bit.
me the Schefter alert that it's done though.
Yeah. You need the pen to the
I don't
paper.
know how long. Yeah, he said that there's people around the league think that it could be done by the draft.
Gives you 30
And I
days.
heard somebody on the radio said in the summer. We'll see. Just get it done. I'm in no rush.
Yeah, there's no games coming anyway, so just no rush. I agree. But I'm excited to see what it finally it all gets done. Other quick NFL news that came out today: people can wear number 0 in the NFL now. That's a thing. It's a thing that happened. Calvin Ridley is the first player to change his number.
0.
I think anyone can wear 0 pretty much. Wait. Except for offensive line and defensive line.
There's zeros in college?
Yeah, there's 0s in college. There's not a lot, but there's some.
I haven't seen them.
Rashad Bateman was one. A first-round pick this year, Christian Gonzalez. Where's it?
I would love to see an offensive lineman do it. That's sad.
I know. They're not allowed to get anything.
Like Jason Kelsey with a big 0.
Big 0 in the middle. So, now I'm looking at it right now. So, the full proposal now allows punters and kickers to wear any number from 0 to 49 and 90 to 99.
Yes. That's like the college kickers that wear 97. I love that.
Yep. So those are, and like
that.
40, 47, 45, like just like random ass numbers.
When I like picture a kicker wearing number 48, I just think of some guy that weighs like 120 pounds that shanks every kick imaginable.
Oh, if my NFL kicker's trotting out there with anything greater than
4.
4,
Then it's 4.
Yeah. That's
what
true.
it is.
But no, not 4. I was gonna say like anything higher than like 17. Then I'm gonna be like, all right, this guy's not making anything.
Yeah.
Punter or
4
kicker.
is the number. Anything above 4, I don't like. This weighs 3. That's good.
Who even is your kicker? Joey Sly. He wears 6.
Sly? Yeah, he's not 3.
Yeah, he's not great.
He's fine.
So
in the world.
Yeah, that's the thing that happened this year or this offseason. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, now, especially with the rules last year, there was kind of no reason not to put 0 on the board. Like if they can wear every other, like sure, why not put just a 0?
Yeah.
They better not be able to wear double 0 though. That would be gross. It'd be really gross.
0 should never be allowed. Like if you can't wear 0-6, then you shouldn't be able to wear 0-0.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying they should be allowed to wear 0-6.
Who should wait? What'd you say?
I said I'm not saying they should be allowed to wear 0-6.
No.
That's a point against 0-0.
Yes, I agree.
Never be allowed.
All right. Is there any other NFL news? I mean, no, there huge signings. XFL Defenders still 6-0. Speaking of O's and
win
6s.
last night.
Yeah, that was a cool Monday Night Football game. That was their closest game yet. And they still
beat down though.
Yeah. The XFL did them dirty. They play again Saturday.
Monday to Saturday?
Yeah, that's a brutal stretch.
The road too.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it at home?
I think it's on the road. I think they're in Seattle this time. Oh, and they got to fly east to west. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Not cool.
Other than that, I haven't watched the XFL.
No, I haven't either.
All right, cool.
Beat the Battlehawks twice.
Yeah, I did see that.
So suck it, St. Louis.
Yeah. All right. Well, then you want to get to the college corner?
Yeah.
Go ahead, take the wheels.
I'll get the bad out of the way because that part got deleted. And I was talking about going into the tournament. Had to play perfect to beat Bama. They were far from perfect. They couldn't hit a shot to save their lives. He's got in foul trouble within 3 minutes of the game. Kept it close for a half, which was nice. Second half got out of control. So it was a bad loss, but I don't know how many people actually really expected them to make a run against that Bama team. So at the end of the day, it was a very successful first season for Willard. They weren't even supposed to make the tournament. They made it and won a game. But big news was this morning that Jameer Young is going to come back one more year,
So
which
what
is
year is
huge.
he?
Be a fifth-year senior this year,
Oh, so wow, you've been
I
watching him for
think.
a while. Uh,
Well, he was at Charlotte. He just transferred this year.
oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
it'll only be a second year here.
Nice. He was your leading scorer all year, right?
Um, Second team All Big Ten. There's a pretty strong argument for him to be first team, but beyond the point. So they have recruiting class coming in. Reese coming back as well. 2 returning starters, 3 incoming 4-star freshmen, and a whole offseason to work the transfer portal.
And the transfer
So
portal's
hopes are,
good.
yeah,
There,
there's a
there's a
lot of
lot of
names in there.
players. Yep. And
So hopes are already very high for next season. Expectations are going to be up there. We'll see how they do with, because like this year is kind of like a we'll see what happens year. Not really much expectations. They did well, so we'll see how Willard does with some real expectations.
there you go. Anything else besides basketball?
We're playing a baseball game right now.
There you go. How's your baseball team been doing?
Pretty good. They had a rough start to the year, but they were up.
Getting back
They
on
played
track.
UCF this weekend, and they were up like 8-0 going into the ninth. Their pitcher threw 8 innings, gave up no runs, and then they won 8-6.
Ooh,
So that was a little concerning.
yeah.
No, but they've bounced back.
Good, good.
So if they're not
On down
sure.
south, on my side, let's talk about the women's basketball team. They're. I mean, we've been talking about them briefly all year. They are just a well-oiled machine, and they've been that all year. They're now in the Final Four of the women's tournament, going up against Iowa. I'm actually concerned a little bit because that girl
Arc.
Clark that scored 40
Mhm.
in a game. Yeah,
Yeah.
41, 12 rebound or 12 assists and 10 rebounds. That that was a butt whooping against the Cardinals. And man, I just like that type of scoring. I'm sure Don Staley, the hero of this campus, will figure it out. And I'm sure they'll probably still be favored by a lot. But they have just
We're
been
14.5-point favorites against Maryland.
they were what, 14 and a half.
Yes.
Damn. So let's talk about we had a little Wise Bowl last night. Maryland was up early on the Gamecocks.
Yeah,
Uh,
hang the banner, first quarter lead.
there you go. They I was getting a little concerned. I was watching the game yet because I was studying for a test and getting to my uh library where I was gonna watch it in the background. And they were up early, but the women took control. Aaliyah Boston with 22 points. Uh, Bria Beal was cooking with 16. Zaya Cook 18. They're a machine and they get stuff done. So I'm excited to see them.
They're unstoppable.
They really are. They're now 36-0, and I'm excited to see what they do against Iowa, which is probably going to be maybe the most watched women's basketball game ever. Like people are excited for
I mean,
this.
yeah,
Like I've seen a
Caitlin
lot.
Clark is the most marketable women's player in my lifetime, I think.
So it'll be great to see. Hopefully it's a battle. Honestly, I want to see these Gamecocks go through a little adversity. Hopefully they take the dub, and we
No, we got a Celtics fan going to the Metro.
you can see it from
Celtics are
here.
in town in
Oh
DC.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking out
yeah.
my window.
Yeah, they play the
Metro
Czars
stop is
tonight.
like that way, so don't like that. Try
The
to interrupt.
No, it's all right.
Another Wise Bowl tonight, though.
The Wizards are gonna get wrecked. They're not playing. It's a trap game for the Celtics, so you have that on your side. But I think Bradley Beal, Kuzma, and Porzingis are all out. So get ready for a lot of Denny.
Denny.
All right, on the men's side.
Interrupts. Continue.
No, it's all right. Women's side, just their goal has been the same all year. Hopefully, they're going to win that national championship soon. On the men's side, Gigi Jackson declared for the draft. Um, good luck. you're gonna be like a 20th pick and probably be in the G League for a couple years. But I wish him the best. I'm gonna get a
I think he
jersey.
will be a first rounder.
From what I'm seeing right now, he's still projected to be a first rounder. I could see him slipping though. I could definitely see him slipping, and
Yeah.
to definitely late in the first round. I think right now I've seen him mocked at like 20, 22. But I mean, at the beginning of the year, he was mocked at almost a possible lottery pick,
Hmm.
top 14 at least, and now he's barely sniffing the first round. So if I was him, I would have stayed another year. I mean, you're still 18, you're not missing out on that much. You still could have a great long NBA career, but that's the route you want to go. That's the route you want to go. I hope that whatever team he does go to, I hope he's just not some guy stuck on the bench, some guy stuck in the G League, but I could see that as well. He's still got a lot of growing to do, and well, I'm good luck to him in the next chapter. I'm excited to see where he goes, and I'm gonna get a jersey. That's all I'm saying.
There's
Gotta
no
get a
ill
jersey.
will for him being a whiny bitch at the end of the year.
No, there's no ill will. He still came here. He didn't have to. I mean, I guess he kind of did have to because North Carolina didn't have enough scholarships, but either way, he still came. I still got to root for him in person. He is a little punkish and a little whiny, but that's okay. He'll. I mean, that's not gonna fly in the NBA. He ain't gonna be pouting in the NBA. So he can just, if he does that, he can just get benched. Um, but excited to see where he goes. And it'd be fun. I mean, of course, it'd be fun if he landed on the Celtics. Nice little late first round pick.
That
Falls
would
a
be
little
cool.
bit. That'd be really cool. Um, but
Circle.
anyways, the rest of the roster, I right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the roster. 6, 7. 7, all right, 7 players on the roster
Okay.
that haven't
Plenty.
already yeah, I guess so. Plenty. That's all you need. Um that haven't declared for the transfer portal. So we're
Include
losing a bunch.
recruits or no?
We have a couple. I mean, we have a recruit. I told you the number one guy in Wisconsin, Chris. How could you
Oh,
forget?
I've heard. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, does the 7 include him?
No, no, that doesn't include him.
Okay.
So I guess that's a little more than I thought, but it's not like any of them are really good. But anyways, they got a lot. They got a lot. Do a lot of work in the transfer portal. A lot of work recruiting. There was 2 tweets today that I saw. 2 different Finnish players like visiting this weekend. I guess.
Nish?
Yeah, like from Finland. And I just saw both of those guys, and I was like, I want them. I want a whole Finnish team. Let's get all the international guys. I don't care. Anyone who wants to play basketball at South Carolina, I'm welcoming.
I'm done with the Euro guys. We've got 2 Euro guys right now that are just eating scholarships.
No,
Let's see any
it seems like
minutes.
besides Tennessee, it seems like a lot of them don't even play.
For Tennessee. Tennessee, it's the whole team.
Yeah.
A
So
pipeline.
hopefully not a lot of other guys decide to transfer. Mainly Michi Johnson. I just hope he doesn't transfer because he was
Hmm.
the most electric player besides Gigi on the court. And it's gonna be a whole new team. Whole new team I'm rooting for next year. But I'm excited, and I still have faith in good old Lamont.
I don't see this Wisconsin guy. Looking at 2023 commits. Guy from Utah and South Carolina. Unless this
Oh,
guy
maybe it's
just
Utah.
plays in Utah.
I could
Colin Murray Boyles.
I think that's him. Let me look.
Let's see. He plays in an academy, so maybe he's from Wisconsin.
I could have sworn that's what it said. Let me look. So basketball. Let's go. How do I switch to 20?
One of the more underrated players in 2023.
There you go. Why can't I switch to
No, his hometown is Columbia. Oh, he ended up in Utah.
these guys could take so many like weird AAU routes now. Like I don't even know where half these guys come from. Like
Half the guys from Maryland end up in MG Academy in Florida.
you know what's funny? One of my fraternity brothers played at NMG.
Really?
Yeah. All right, South Carolina. prospects.
Got Arden Conyers from South Carolina.
All right, 2023. This is great podcasting, by the way.
It's good podcasting.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, well, yeah, whatever. We have those two guys. Maybe it's Utah, and I got it confused with Wisconsin, but I could have sworn it was Wisconsin. I just want to see some sort of transfers come in. Something that would be nice. Someone I can look at where he played a couple years in college. I can look at the stats and try to make an opinion of him. And well, we're gonna need some more players, so we're gonna get someone. Might have to.
He has to play.
Yeah, maybe
He's going to have to join the team.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'm going in.
I'm going in. If someone's gonna turn this team around, it's gonna be me. So, I'll Lamont, you want to give me a call? I'll try out. Give me the.
Basically, had to try it already.
I did, and
on the floor.
It worked out, didn't it? I gotta just work on my free throws. I gotta work on my free throws. Anyways, with
Ben Simmons.
yeah, Ben Simmons. Anyways, I don't think there's really any other news. The main buzz around campus is this women's basketball team, and excited to see them hopefully win the championship. Oh, actually, that's not true. Baseball is great. I think they're 11th in the nation right now, and
Good.
they've been throwing heaters. They lost a weird one to Charlotte, but no matter. A little hiccup in the road. We'll be all right.
Do we want to address your Barstool account or just not give it the attention?
I mean, we're on the same page here.
I don't want to address it because I don't want to stoop to that level.
All right, then we'll just move on. All right. Do you wanna talk about some baseball before we go?
Yeah, we can do a little more in-depth preview on Friday. But day is Thursday, as I think we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
All 30 teams in action, so it's very exciting. It's really, to me, it's like day and the Masters is like the start of spring, at least sports-wise. So I'm very excited. I think it's a pretty open field this year. The Astros are going in as the favorite again, but it's tough to repeat. So there's a lot of teams, and like obviously you saw with the Phillies last year, anyone could go World Series. It's just about getting hot at the right time. But a couple really good divisions, really bad divisions. The NL East is going to be crazy good again. The Mets and the Braves and the Phillies.
Didn't the Mets guy, a big Mets guy, hurt himself in the World Classic?
Yeah, Edwin Diaz, he's their closer. He tore his, I don't think it was ACL, tore something. He's out for the year.
Damn.
It's a shame.
That is a shame.
Very Mets thing to happen.
Yeah, especially in the World Baseball Classic. Like, damn.
Yeah. We lost to Shohei Ohtani of Japan.
I did see that.
I don't think we ever talked about the WBC, but congrats to Japan, I guess.
The fact that it's like the highest, like the stars that everyone wanted to see in that World Classic Baseball are on the same team in the MLB, and they can't win 100 games.
Oh, 100? They can't win 80.
Like,
it is ridiculous, and they'll probably finish 4th in their division this year.
It's so sad.
It really is heartbreaking. But
just
Ohtani's probably might be gone after this year.
I heard he's a Red Sox. I heard he's gonna be a Red Sox, so I'm ready.
He likes the West Coast. Maybe he'll just go right across the street and play for the Dodgers.
Oh, great. Yeah, because the Dodgers need some help. That's definitely what they need.
They might. They might have it down year this year. They lost a couple guys.
Oh, okay.
Down year for them is winning 92 games instead of 105. But yeah, like I don't know who to take World Series. Braves, Mets, Phillies, Cardinals, Dodgers, Padres in the NL. I think all could have a shot at it. American League, Yankees, Astros, Blue Jays, A's, Guardians, Mariners. Maybe throw them in there. I think those are your teams that have a real shot at it. So that's 13 out of 30 teams. I think have a real shot at the World Series. See, I'd be a team that comes out of nowhere.
Are you gonna? So you told me beforehand that you got a future. So are you gonna? Should we tease it for Friday?
Tease it? Yeah, we'll tease it.
All right. So
I have a sleeper team that I'm excited about.
Coming Friday is Chris's sleeper team for the.
I'm the guy who gave you the Rams.
Yes.
2021.
Yes. Yep. Yep. From the people who brought.
I think the White Sox last year.
Oh God.
Didn't make the playoffs.
The White Sox. All right. I think the last segment
I've already locked in.
The last segment we're gonna do, and we're gonna try to. I'm gonna email PrizePicks, see what they think about this. So if you don't know what PrizePicks is, it is just a nice little NBA basketball, college basketball. You just pick a player, and you go over or under on whatever point says, over under on rebounds. It's classic stuff to make a parlay. So you can add up to 6 players, and on Tuesdays, where we have a Wise Guys Tuesdays, they have Taco Tuesdays, and that means that they give you a reduced amount of points, to a player. Right now, it was earlier today. I got Trae Young with 21.5 points instead of like 27, and right now it's switched to Steph Curry. You get Steph Curry 23.5 over under points, so it's a 14% discount on Steph Curry's rankings. And Chris, I'm gonna now with that. You want to help me make a prize pick? All right. So I'm gonna add the Curry. I'm gonna use the Taco. Add the Curry 23.5 against New Orleans tonight. Pretty typical Curry. I think I could get it done.
What was it from? What was the discount?
It was 27.5. Now it's 23.5. So you get 4 points.
Well, if the total's going down, we're taking the over.
Oh yeah, of course. So, I guess maybe you don't like. You want to look at the teams that are playing tonight. See if any guys jump out on you. I'll throw you some names.
Picks are we making?
What?
How many picks are we making?
Let's do a little 3-leg. We'll just do 3. So we'll have the Taco. I'll pick one, and then you could give me one. Either rebounds, assists, rebounds plus assists, 3-pointers, or just points.
Okay, points is the easiest. Is Shy on there?
Gilgeous? Sure he is.
Yeah.
Let me check. Oh, they playing tonight?
It's the Hornets.
What the heck? Why isn't Shy on here? No, let me see what I have for OKC. He could be out. OKC, I saw Giddey on there. Dort, Jalen Williams. The other Jalen Williams. And then Charlotte, we got Dennis Smith Jr., Nick Richards, and PJ Washington. Any of those names you want to check? Giddey, he's 19 points. Is his over under?
Game log real quick.
I can show you what's cool about PrizePicks. You can click right there. Last night a couple nights ago against Portland, 17. Then you had 27 against the Lakers, 18 against the Clippers, 13 against the Clippers, and 16 against the Pelicans. So
we're at 19.
Yeah. Do you want to go? Should we go under or just try to move on and maybe take another guy? Because picking the under is no fun.
Yeah, picking the under sucks. Move on.
All right. Ooh, Herb Jones. You want to? Oh, never mind. Herb Jones has been bad lately. Okay. Let's go with someone. Let's go with Paolo Banchero, 19.5. Think we can get over?
He's gonna be guarding him on the Grizzlies.
Probably maybe Tillman or Jaren Jackson. Maybe Dylan
Right.
Brooks. I think we got it.
Yeah.
I think we
Let's
should
do
do it.
that one.
All right. And then I want to pick a player threes. 3-pointers made. I always like doing that. Let's do
Tatum.
Tatum's not even on here. We could do Brown, but not Tatum. We can do Tatum points, but not.
Oh, so what's the deal with Brown? What's the thing you tweeted?
Oh, okay. So Jaylen Brown comes out there's an article written about him, how he's basically, I mean, like the writing's on the wall of him just wanting out and not
Hmm.
not playing for the Celtics anymore. He always has monotone press conferences. I'm sure it's not anything. I'm sure but it's basically the bottom line is like, he always feels like the little brother. He's always under Tatum's spotlight, and he hasn't said any of this, but it's always like speculation and stuff. And he just has a monotone voice and never really says anything. So they asked about the standing ovation that they gave him when he dropped 41 against some team the other night, maybe the Spurs, and he got a standing ovation. The crowd gave it to him. People make like articles where it's like he didn't acknowledge it, where he clearly did. He saluted the crowd and then took a seat. And people ask him comments about the game, if that like standing ovation, helps him out or at all and stuff. And he was just like, "I'm here to do my job." So that's where it's like, all right, maybe he wants out, maybe he wants out of here. But I don't know. I absolutely love Jaylen Brown. There's no way I want him gone. Let's do Sadiq Bey over 1.5 3-pointers. Let's get it in there. We talked about Sadiq Bey on the trades podcast, and I got a little flack from it from a couple of my friends. Like, why are you even talking about Sadiq Bey? So that's why we're adding him on there. So we have Curry over 24 points, basically. Paolo over 19.5, and Sadiq Bey over 1.5 3-pointers. That is our flex play of the day. It would be I putting in $5 to win 25. Love it. Love it.
Solid.
Yeah, so that's Prize Picks. Hopefully, I'm going to talk to them. Maybe we can get something worked out here. Maybe official sponsorship. But nothing as of right now. So, anyways, I think that's it.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. It's great to be back. We're not going on any more vacations, so don't expect another week off. We're gonna be back twice a week as we always are, and we'll see everybody come.
Grind is on.
What?
The grind is on.
Yes, sir. We'll see everybody Friday.